We're kicking things off this hour with local impacts to what is likely a national headline. That's spending this upcoming Mother's Day and what sort of economic factors might be at play. We know in general, while we've been speaking a lot about gas prices as far as when folks are filling up at the pump, we know that anything that relies on ground transportation can be impacted by the rising prices amid the war in Iran. So we want to see exactly how things are impacting folks at home. We've got Alexandra Rios Malvia joining us right now. And Alexandra, you spoke with one of our Charlotte area florists, it sounds like, and you also are getting some expert insights into specifically what folks might expect from spending this year if they are going to get something for mom or their mother figure in life. So what'd you find out tonight?
Yeah, hi Vanessa. Thanks for including me in today's piece. So it's very interesting. We talked to a University of North Carolina economics professor who tells us that the impact of flowers this year will most likely go up due to the conflicts that are happening in Iran. And he points to two different things. One of them being that most of the florists here in the United States buy their flowers in South America. So when there's a flight cost to it, there's gas cost to it. So that's one of the factors. And then the other factor being when it comes to delivering these flowers firsthand on ground. So of course, there's another gas factor to this. And so local florists are having to come up with this decision on whether to push that cost onto their customers or if they're going to bear it themselves. And I talked to a local florist shop here in Charlotte, Southern Blossom Florist, who says that she is essentially asking her customers to come and pick up the flowers instead, so she won't have to pass on that cost to her customers. And that's just what's going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting to see the ripple effect from the conflict in Iran. Did she talk about, in general, how she was feeling as a business owner right now? Because I understand, like, whether, we're talking about gas prices or previously to that, we were talking about the impacts of tariffs. We did hear from a lot of different small businesses and large businesses, for that matter, kind of grappling with how long can we hang on without having to pass this along to our customers, and or like how long can we hold on before this is just an unsustainable situation. And I ask this in the sense that, kind of in an unrelated situation, there's a restaurant that I follow here in Charlotte that posted just a couple of days ago that it said that it had to close down, and they specifically cited, among a couple other reasons, gas prices. So they're closed, and I'm just kind of curious if, Southern Blossom had talked about, specific impacts or constraints they might be feeling right now.
Yeah, she mentioned that she started to see this happening towards Valentine's Day, where people were coming in, and she was in a difficult position to see if she was going to change her prices at all. She decided to keep them where they're at. Now we hit Mother's Day, same thing. She's really, really hoping to be able to pass through this one, and she's kind of hoping too that it won't last forever, and eventually, but hopefully, fingers crossed, that gas prices won't be that high. And so she's hoping that maybe after this holiday season, if you will, things will start looking on the bright side.
All right. You mentioned your expert, how you spoke with somebody who teaches at one of our local universities. Any sort of insights from that perspective on, I don't know, it is tough to say, like, because nobody has a crystal ball, how long this could last. Anything interesting you think our viewers might be able to take away in some sort of planning capacity or whatnot about, what your expert told you?
Yeah, he really just said it's really up to the owner to decide how to handle things. He said some people may start to see a surplus in delivery costs because of the fuel, so that's something to watch out for. But just like the owner of this florist said, they're really hoping that the gas prices won't stay that high for too long, and then we're just gonna have to ride it out and see what happens.
Yeah, we've heard multiple times, we'll just mention for folks at home who've been following along with the impacts of the war in Iran, we've heard the White House and the Trump administration reiterate multiple times that they expect that gas prices will be returning to normal. They've been citing matters of weeks as they think that this conflict they believe is wrapping up soon. Of course, we'll have to wait and see exactly how things play out. Alexandra, I know that you're preparing all of these interviews for a report later tonight. When can folks see your piece, and I guess specifically, when can they watch it as they keep it here on WCNC Charlotte tonight?
Yeah, we're planning to air this story tonight at 6, I believe 6:15 in particular. So you'll get an insight and advised perspective from a local business owner here, as well as the University of North Carolina economics professor.
All right, Alexandra, thanks so much for your time here. We're glad to have you joining us and give us a little bit of a preview too on your piece later tonight.